Hey, what's up, everybody? Good morning. This is John Big Dog Wagner coming at you out here in Vegas. Just ran the 80 out from Ohio. Snow and ice on the road already. It's a trip. Anyway, we're in the winter months. You guys got to slow down. You guys got to be careful. Got to be careful. You got high winds. You got ice. You got snow. If you don't have no chains, don't go north. Stay out of New Mexico, Amarillo, places like that, the mountains, because lots of snow, lots of ice. I'm already seeing truck crashes from it. All bad, all bad. Y'all got to be careful out there and use some common sense. I was in Rawlins, Wyoming yesterday, getting ready to hit the road, and I was talking to a guy. We were talking about the weather and the crashes, and his philosophy was, it's just gonna happen no matter what you do. And I'm like, yeah, but excuse me. I'm like, yeah, but you slow down, pay attention to what you're doing, you lower the chances of stuff happening. It's just gonna happen no matter what you do. Alright, well, you do what you want. You do what makes you feel good. Me, myself, I'm slowing down. And I've had conversations with people, and they talk about, oh, you scary, you this, you that. You can call me whatever the hell you want. But what you ain't gonna do is call me crashed on the side of the road. I slow down. When the time is right, there's a time and place for everything. When the time is right, oh yeah, my pedal's down. My pedal's down. I'm running. But I start hitting them winds, trailer gets to shaking. I start seeing that slippery stuff on the road. At the brakes, the truck gets to sliding. I slow down. So be careful out there. While I'm on here, I want to talk about a couple things that, I've heard over the past few weeks, month. I often tell you guys, this is not a business for entitled people. This is not a business for entitled people. If you are entitled and you know you're entitled, stay over there at the company. This is not a business for entitled people. This is a business for go-getters. This is a business for people who take responsibility. This is a business for people who do what they have to do to get shit done. This is not a business for entitled people. This is not a business for people who want things done for them, want things handed to them. This is not a business for people who just want to sit back and expect everything to magically happen. This is not. Okay? I saw an interview on Bonehead Truckers. Yeah, I'm calling them out. Because Bonehead Truckers, where it used to be a really good program, now just promotes hate and stupidity as their focus. And I get it, because that's what gets the attention. People want to see hatred. People want to see stupidity. So he did an interview, and it's on his channel. You can go look. You think I'm messing with you? You can go look. It's an interview with a real live ex Super Ego employee. And I know you guys have heard people complain about hours. Oh, they extra hours. Pause for a minute. As far as the extra hours, every company out there does extra hours. Y'all talking about extra hours like it's taboo? Stop. The first company I worked for, the very first company I worked for, and this company was by the book, by the letter, up the butt, anal. They were so anal that if somebody changed lanes in front of you and you didn't register that you tapped your brake, you got a critical event. If you change lanes, even though everybody else on the freeway is moving faster than you are, you got a critical event. And when I say everybody was faster than you are, those trucks on the gas pedal got 63 miles an hour. On the cruise control got 65 miles an hour. On the 65 on the cruise control, you had a 30-minute booster that if you tap the gas 3 times, you'd go to 68 miles an hour. Almost every independent truck out there is doing at least 70. So, I mean, come on. You are the slowest truck out there, and you're getting critical events because somebody changed lanes in front of you. And the reason for the critical event is because what if he hits his brakes? Really? So anyway, this company was anal. They were anal. Okay? But this was the first company I worked for. I had a run I was doing. I was going to the Walmart facility in Nebraska. On the way there, on my second day, there was an accident on the freeway. Freeway was shut down. Lost a lot of time with that shutdown. I'm still trying to make it to my rest stop. Okay? I run out of clock 30 minutes prior to my rest stop. I thought I was going to be slick. I put the ELD in personal conveyance and ran that 30 minutes to the truck stop. Next thing you know, I got a phone call. This is a critical event. We writing you up. You can't do that. Blah, 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 blah. And then they said, next time you have a situation like this, call your logs department. The what? Call your logs department. That's what they for. Oh. Okay. Coincidentally, a couple months later, same run out of Bloomington, California, going to Nebraska. I had a blowout. I got held up waiting on roadside service, blah, 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 blah. I called my logs department. I told them, I said, yeah, I got to get this thing here, but me sitting on the side of the road, my time got eaten up, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to need an extra couple hours. Is there anything you can do for me? They said, yeah, we'll call you back in 30 minutes. Well, they called me back in less. Log out, log back in. Log out, log back in. I got 6 more hours on my ELD. That's what the logs department's for. So all y'all talking about, they can manipulate the hours, they can miss me with the bullshit. The logs department serves no other purpose but to manage your logs. They ain't part of payroll. They don't manage your miles. They ain't part of fleet services. Their only job is to manage your logs. You stop late, you get a violation, you wake up in the morning, the violation is gone. They manipulated your logs. The first 2 companies I worked for, I told y'all before, I could turn on duty hours and the off duty hours whenever I wanted. It's manipulating your logs. So for all y'all tripping, they can manipulate the logs, they got companies, that trucking companies, smaller trucking companies, subcontract to manage their logs. Now, if you're going to sit there and try to sell on me that your company ain't fucking with the logs, that your company ain't messing with the logs, then you explain to me what the logs department's for and why your company got one. The ELD is a self-management system. Being that it's a self-management system and everything is supposed to be the way that it's supposed to be based on what that system says, then why do you got to have somebody to manage it? That's just a common sense question. So as far as, they can miss me with the BS. So anyway, this guy, this ex-Super Ego employee, does this interview on Bonehead Truckers, and he says, oh yeah, I called the logs department and I requested extra hours and they gave them to me. The company's messed up. And then you go in the comments and you can see those bandwagon dudes just on Bonehead Truckers Jock. But then you can see the other dudes in the comments with common sense. Is this dude really saying he requested the hours? And he's complaining because they gave them to him? Like, he requested them. He asked for them. And that messed up company gave him what he asked for. The interview's right there on Bonehead Truckers. I can't make this up. I mean, granted, I've talked to people. Like I talked to one guy. I was at a pickup. He was getting loaded. I was like, hey, yeah, I'm with Super Ego too. Yeah, how you like it? Oh, I'm loving it. You know, I had me a bad dispatcher before, but I got me a good dispatcher now. I'm making my money. I'm running. I'm doing good. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. He goes, the only complaint is that they can manipulate the hours. Are you telling me that they gave you hours when you didn't want them? Oh, no. Nothing like that. Nothing like that. Then I don't understand. What's the problem? It's just the fact that they could do it. You realize that every company can do it, right? Well, like really, folks? Really? But because some butthead out there mentioned, oh, they can change the hours, you got a whole lot of people out there because they can change the hours. If you think your company does not change hours, you call your dispatcher, you call your front desk, you call your fleet man, you call your logs department and ask them what they for. Are y'all to help manage with payroll? Well, no, we don't deal with payroll. Are y'all to help manage with the fleet and amount? No, we don't deal with that either. Then what do you do? Oh, we make sure that your logs are all correct and up to... So you manipulate the logs. That's what they're for. So every time somebody comes at me with that bullshit, that's what's going on in my mind. Don't spit. The other thing I deal with, I get people, I tell you, you are your own boss. It's up to you. It's up to you as to whether or not you make money or not. I run into people, yeah, I ain't making no money. I drove all week. I only got like $200, blah, 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 blah. And the first thing I ask them, did you break down your loads? One guy told me, yeah, I break down my loads every week. At the end of every week, I break down my loads. At the end of every week, you mean when you get your statement? Well, yeah, that's when I go through everything to see if everything's right. But if you do it when you get your statement, isn't that too late? Like, the damage is already done. What's the point of breaking it down then? You've already said yes to all the stuff. Now you got your statement for what you said yes to. It's too late. Well, I ain't got time for all that when I'm busy, when I'm running, when I'm busy. I ain't got time. You don't have time to make sure that you're going to make money on the run before you take the run? Now, I'm trying to process this logically, and it just doesn't fit. You want to wait till after you've done the run. Better yet, you want to wait till after you finish the week. You want to wait till your statement is actually processed to sit there and figure out if the run had money in it or not. Do you have a time machine where you can go back and say no to the run and get a different one? I don't. People like this don't need to be on their own. People like this need to work for a company. People like this need to be somewhere where somebody could tell them what to do and hold their hand and pay them by the mile. They don't need to be on their own. Because if you don't have the common sense, I mean, you go someplace, you go to a store, you want to buy something. You look at the price, right? And then you figure out how much money you got to know if you can pay for it or not, right? And then once you figure out if you got enough money to pay for it, you got to look at the rest of your bills to see if you can actually afford it. And then once you've done all that and you decide, oh, okay, I really want this, you take it to the register and you go pay for it, right? But you don't do any of that when it comes to making your money? Come on, bro. And then you got all these, I don't know what you want to call them. Well, if they were a real company, they would make sure that you're making money. It's not their job to make sure you're making money. I keep telling y'all, they're not a trucking company. They're a finance company. They sell trucks. It's up to you to make sure that you're making money. Well, if the load ain't got no money in it, then why do they offer it? Because just like you a bonehead, you got bonehead dispatchers too. You got dispatchers. In fact, the company just fired a whole bunch of dispatchers. Why'd they fire a whole bunch of dispatchers? Because they weren't making their numbers. My dispatcher got overloaded because he just got dumped with a bunch of extra people until they get some more dispatchers and get them trained. They just fired a whole bunch of dispatchers. Because a dispatcher, oh, I got a truck in Cheyenne, Wyoming. There's a load in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Truck, take the load, go. I did my job. Run paying $1 a mile, driver losing money on it, but I did my job. So the company just fired a whole bunch of dispatchers for doing that. But in the end, when that dispatcher called the driver, hey, I got this run going from Cheyenne, Wyoming to Amarillo, Texas. 1,700 miles for $1,700. Do you want it? The driver should have said, 1,700 miles for $1,700. That's $1. Hell no, I don't want it. Well, there ain't nothing. I'd rather sit than pay somebody my good money to deliver their load. All right, well, that's the way you're going to be. I'll find you something else. Yeah, you got to find me something else. But instead, driver says, okay, I'll take it. I'm going to Texas. That's a good run. I'll take it. And then at the end of the week, I ain't make no money. I drove all week. I ain't make no money. Whose fault is that? Oh, you broke it down when you got your statement. You know, I get people that say I'm being paid to say this stuff. Clearly, I'm not. I even got my own negative videos about the company, so they ain't paid me to talk bad about it. They didn't pay me to talk bad about them. I get guys that come in here that trolls. You ain't no big dog, you a puppy. Whatever. Miss me with that crap. You ain't got nothing better else to say. Go get a life. The reality is, common sense is still common sense. And the truth is still the truth. And you can believe anything you want out there. Ain't nobody going to sit there and dictate to you what you got to believe and what you don't got to believe. Ain't nobody out there going to walk up to you and put a gun to your head and say, you need to listen to this because this is what I want you to believe. You believe what you want to believe. Somebody said, oh, the company did this, the company did that. You want to believe it? Cool. You want to get out there and spread it like they told you the truth? You look like the same ass that the other guy looks like that said it. And anybody with common sense can see it. I asked for hours and they, hey, can you give me $100? Oh, damn, this motherfucker gave me $100. What a butthead. You asked for it. That's just common sense. So, I mean, I don't know. I get people that they just want to hate. Is what it is. I don't care. It don't faze me none. They not paying my bills. They're not taking away from my bills. My bills are paid. My truck is running. I'm making money. And I'm not the only one doing it. So according to the haters out there, I guess Super Eagle has a special division. And if they put you in that special division, you're going to make money. But if you're not in that special division, you're going to drive all week and they're going to make sure that you stay broke. Okay. Get people out there hollering, they took my truck for no reason. They took my truck. Okay. I did a week vacation. I went to New York and hung out, then went home, went to D.C. and hung out. They didn't take my truck. I've had times that I've gone home to my house in San Diego, parked it, they called me, hey, you doing good? Yeah, I'm doing good, spend time with my family. Okay, let us know when you get back on the road. They didn't take my truck. So if you got your truck took, there's something else that you're not saying. Like maybe you weren't just parked there for a week or two, you were parked there for like a month or two, and you wasn't making your truck payment. I don't know. I wasn't there. I know they're not taking my truck. Oh, but I'm in that special division. Yeah. So anyway, again, believe what you want. Believe what you want. It's not for everybody. I said that in my first videos. It's not for everybody, and it's not. And if you can't be honest with yourself, you ain't going to be honest with anybody else. So why even bother? Why even bother? Anyway, I'm about to go deliver this load, and then I'm on my way to go see my family. Because I ain't making no money, so I can't afford that. Anyway, again, be safe out there. We're in the winter months. Ice, snow, wind, stuff like that. It really does me bad to see all these trucks piled up on the side of the road crashed. I don't wish bad on nobody. I don't care who you are. I don't wish bad on nobody. But I'm also not here to drive your trucks. I drive my truck. And for all y'all that like to do that downhill run and let gravity move your truck down the hill, gravity ain't got no CDL. Think about that. All right, y'all be safe out there. I'm out.